Hi, I'm Alexandra Hammond. Welcome to my studio here in New York City. I wanted to just show you guys a few of the works that I've been working on recently and the type of work that I've been working on recently. As you can see, most of the paintings behind me are kind of unified by the existence of this blue background, and also many of them contain loops. So I began to work with this blue background probably 4 years ago, and when I first started using it, I was putting pieces of botanical, pieces of architecture in front of it, and I really didn't know kind of what it was about, but it just kind of appeared to me very naturally because I grew up in California, and the skies where I'm from in the Sacramento Valley and in the foothills of the Coast Range are in general very blue. And so I started to realize, actually through my meditation practice, that this blue was representative of what Buddhists sometimes call the ground of being. Sometimes it's called shunyata. It's really this void of this kind of space of ultimate possibility, which is represented by the sky and immense spaciousness. And it's really this idea that everything arises out of the same field of consciousness, and that this field of consciousness is both completely open and also pregnant with every possibility that is in existence. And so it's really this both and situation, which is also important to the symbology of the Mobius Strip, or the twisted loop. And you see that I am pretty obsessed with the twisted loop. And the reason is because it's also this figure that encapsulates the concept of both andness, which I think is so indicative, or it's so relevant to our experience as human beings. The experience of, the fact that everything is connected, and that while we experience ourselves as individuals and we experience contrasts, those contrasts don't exist without the other side. So the Mobius Strip is a very special figure because it is a loop that's twisted. So if you're a little ant that's crawling along the edge of the loop, at some point you'll change sides, but the moment of that changing is indeterminate. It's kind of always happening. So the Mobius Strip becomes this fascinating figure that is both inside and outside, and that is this kind of perpetual motion and transformation, all in this one super simple form that you can actually make by just taking a piece of paper and connecting it together, with a twist, putting some tape on the end. As another kind of side note about the Mobius Strip, a lot of physicists believe that that might actually be the shape of our universe. So for me, this became a very important figure because it also represents my interest in non-dual philosophy. And non-dual philosophy is really bound up with this idea that all things are connected, and that while we do experience ourselves as individuals, at the end of the day, we are a bunch of molecules that are interacting, bouncing off one another, going out into space and back, and that this solidity of boundaries that we invent so that our minds can kind of comprehend the incredible complexity of the world really is a construct. And it doesn't mean that boundaries and differences are not real for us, and that they're not kind of necessary for us to be able to apprehend the world. And at the same time, on another level, that, you know, we are all completely interconnected, and that most importantly, we're interconnected with this enveloping earth that is our environment, our home, our life world. So thank you so much for coming into my studio today. I hope you enjoy.